Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the newest episode of the Goat Shed Sports Podcast. As always, I am Nick Connect, and alongside me is the marvelous Jacob Bowles. Jacob, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, Nick?
Oh, I'm doing just fantastic. And on today's podcast, what we're going to be doing is a hypothetical NBA award show because with the uncertainty of the league, whether it will continue, whether the regular season will continue, the playoffs is all in a blur. We don't know what's going to happen. So we thought it'd just be a fun idea to talk about our MVP picks and all of our NBA award picks and just kind of talk about it and debate the picks. So I think with that being said, Jacob, you want to hop right into this? We want to start with the coach of the year.
It will. So, for me, my coach of the year that I decided to start with was Nick Nurse himself.
Okay.
He's taking a Raptors squad who recently lost Kawhi at the beginning of the season, and as of right now, they are a 2 seed. So,
Yeah.
I mean, there's still a lot of talent on that team, don't get me wrong, but just the way I definitely didn't expect them to show out the way that they are. I mean, you've got good players on their team. Like you got Pascal Siakam, who's a really very much improving player. You've got, I mean, Kyle Lowry, who shows up. He's doing his thing, always has. But I just think the way he's been doing this season is deserving of it.
I feel it. Yeah, I guess there's just not much to go on with me because by the way, just so everyone knows, on our sheets of paper or our Word docs we got in front, we haven't seen each other's picks yet, just so we can kind of have like that really natural debate if we do disagree. But there's not going to be much for me to disagree on because for my coach of the year, I also have Nick Nurse. I think if you would have asked me this about like earlier on in the season, I think Eric Spoelstra was running away with that award because, I mean, the Heat were on it.
Yeah.
They slowed down, but I agree. Nick Nurse, I mean, after Kawhi left, you can go through my Twitter. I actually deleted the tweet recently because a verified Raptors fan account flamed me because I tweeted the second Kawhi left. I said, "There go the Raptors," and that tweet got quote tweeted like probably about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, and said, "Here's another one," and it got like 50 retweets. I was like, "Nope, this is going down." But yeah, I think just seeing what he did because they went to that finals, and everyone was like, "Well, this is just Kawhi and a bunch of bums." Kyle Lowry's getting old, Marcus All's old, Serge Ibaka's old, Pascal Siakam was very uh, undefined, I guess, at the time, and it was like they lost their bona fide superstar, one of the top 5 players in the NBA. No one thought they're gonna be good. They got 43 wins right now. If the season goes on or not, still that's like I projected
But
them to
yeah,
get
but
43 wins like the whole season, and they're on pace for 50 plus.
yeah,
It's
but I
amazing
mean,
what
like
Nick Nurse has done.
especially like losing, well, I guess trading DeMar DeRozan too. So like you don't have a solid quote unquote superstar on that team. I mean, Pascal Siakam, he's definitely shown he probably can be, and he definitely is at this point. Like the man's averaging 24 points a game. Like that's nothing to like. That's some serious stuff right there.
Yeah, of
And
course.
yeah, and then also you got the emergence of Fred VanVleet, the amazing Fred
I
VanVleet.
love
So
Freddie.
I just,
Freddie's a stud.
yeah, definitely didn't see something like this happening. So props to the Toronto Raptors for
You know,
stepping up the way that they are.
stepping
For
up and
sure.
really like showing that they still are the defending NBA champions, and they're not going to be
I mean,
pushed
they won
around.
for a reason. They had a solid
I
team
mean,
around
they
them.
what? They won on a 13-game win streak this season already too, and I mean they've had a banged up team the whole year too. Like, what do you think their record would be if Pascal didn't miss like the 10 or 12 games that he missed? If Kyle Lowry didn't miss so many? If Marcus Gasol has been out for a while? Serge Ibaka missed a lot.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just they're gonna be exciting to come see. Like, well, I guess maybe not even come playoff
Yeah,
time.
but
You don't still don't
2021,
know.
I don't know. It's crazy. But yeah, I mean, it just you look up and down that team. They just got great players. They got a great six man in like Serge Ibaka and all that just jazz. And speaking of six man, Jacob, you want to do our six man of the year?
Oh, we'll get into that. So, do you want to start for this one?
I'll start. Yeah, we'll alternate. We can alternate. For this, I had a little trouble. I was looking at stats. I was figuring it out, but I think it ultimately came down to I think this year's six man of the year has to be Dennis Schroeder. I mean, you look what Dennis has done that year and what that whole Thunder team in general has done. That's another team. They traded Paul George, got all those picks. It's rebuild time. They traded Russell Westbrook. It's rebuild time, and now you look at Chris Paul and Shea are being a great backcourt. Dennis Schroeder and Steven Adams are nice. Danilo Gallinari is nice. But on the season, Dennis Schroeder is averaging 19 points a game, 4 assists, and he's shooting 46 from the field, 38 from 3. I mean, he's having a great year. Basically, 20-5 off the bench.
Yeah, that's nothing to joke about.
That's nothing to joke about on a really, on a Thunder team that no one thought was going to be this good.
He's backing up, was it Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who's having a great season too.
Shay's having a great year.
That's just 2 great guards you have on the team back to back.
And then you got Chris Paul.
Yeah, for him to come off the bench performing like that, I actually had him at number 2 on my list.
Ooh, I'm really curious to hear your number 1.
Montrezl Harrell.
Okay, I respect that. Montrez is a beast.
I think he's probably the backbone of that Clippers team.
Mm-hmm.
You don't hear that much about him, but the things that he do fly under the radar, and he averages 19 points a game, 7 rebounds. That's very, very well coming off the bench. And I just watching him play live. He does so much for that team that just no one else does. He's so scrappy. He gets those nice buckets, those inside boards. He's a really great player, and for him to be coming off the bench for them, that's a great thing for them to have.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think Montrez is a beast. He's a 6'7" center, but he plays like he's 7 foot. He's a presence. He's an athletic. He's been an underdog his whole career, whether that was college or the NBA. I do like that. I do think that Montrez has shown, especially this year, that he is the definite 6th man on that Clippers team, not Lou Will, who has struggled this year.
I mean, Lou Will definitely hasn't performed how he has performed, but realistically, it's kind of hard to say that he's even a 6th man anymore. Lou Williams, he averages the 2nd most minutes on the team.
That frustrates
behind
me.
Kawhi Leonard.
It
makes it.
You're not a 6th man if you average 34 minutes a game. You just don't start the first 2 minutes of the game.
So hard to see him get that award every single year when he comes on 3 minutes into the game. That's just
the actual 2 I was deciding, but since you said you had Dennis Schroeder and Montrez, I was deciding between Dennis Schroeder and Goran Dragic.
Okay.
I think Dragic's had a great year. I mean, he's averaging 16-5, 43 from the field, 37 from 3, and it just I'm a big Heat fan, so Homer here. I don't know. I've just watched a lot of Goran, and the plays he makes, I think he's having a great 6-man year, but I think Dennis Schroeder, for me, I think is the definite. I think he is having a monster year.
I like that a lot. I also had one more, just a quick shout out. I had Derrick Rose also.
Derrick Rose, yeah. The greatest story in NBA. Yeah, he started off the season strong. I mean, I'm gonna say it. D Rose fans are gonna hate us. The last 2 seasons he started off the season in all-star form, and everyone's like D Rose is back, and then he falls off because his body can't handle it.
I mean, nothing against him.
Nothing against him. It's he can't control his body. He's good. But
it's so unfortunate how he went from such a great talent, such a athletic.
I still think
very, very
one of my favorite moments, I think one of my favorite moments in NBA history came from last year when Derrick Rose on the Timberwolves dropped 50.
50 points.
That was crazy. He was crying, but that I think that got every basketball fan emotional because D Rose is a soft spot in basketball. If you say anything about D Rose on social media, you're getting flamed. It's don't talk about our king like that.
I mean, he was the youngest MVP. You can't ever take that away from him. He's gonna have that probably for.
Nope. Luke is taking that, boy. Luke is getting that.
Unbelievable.
Luke is our MVP next year. Bold prediction.
Think so?
No.
That's bold. I like that, though. I like that.
All right.
Luke, okay, so you want to go on to the next category?
You want to give most improved player? Because I know for a fact that we are going to say different ones here, so you want to start yours off?
I will. my girlfriend is a Pelicans fan, and I have Brandon Ingram as
Solid pick.
the most improved player. I mean, even without her being a Pelicans fan, I would definitely agree with that 100%. Like he's the way he stepped up to being the man on the team. Like the leading scorer, he averages 24 points, 4 assists, 6 rebounds, going from a young player on the Lakers, like undefined everything, to breaking out this season, becoming an all-star. It's very impressive for me to see. I'm very excited. I'm like as a Lakers
A
fan currently.
basketball
I mean,
fan.
LeBron fan. But yeah, it's very nice to see him go out there and shine at the way he is, because he definitely has the talent. Like I mean, you can see he has the talent, and it's very great to see. I'm very happy for him. So you want to go with your most improved player now? 'Cause
My pick, I think Brandon Ingram's gonna win it just because of pure hype and points, and I think it's kind of crap. I think Bam Adebayo is the clear choice for this most improved award, because I don't want to be that guy, but Brandon Ingram averaging a lot of points on a crap team doesn't mean anything to me.
yeah, I mean, like I said, if Zion was on that team
It would be
from
different.
the start,
It
he
would be
wouldn't
different.
be the most improved
But
player.
the
He
way I
wouldn't
look
work
at
that
it, if you
team.
look at this Heat team, they are sitting at 40 plus wins, and I 100% think Bam is the best player on that team. He made his first All Star game. He went from last year averaging 8 points a game, about a half a block a game, about 1 assist a game, about a half a steal a game, and about 7 rebounds a game. He upgraded that to 16 points. He upgraded to 1.3 blocks, 1.2 steals, 5 assists, 10 rebounds. And Bam is a center who he takes the ball, he runs the offense. So, and a
He won
half.
the school competition. Like it just shows how versatile he is.
Yeah, I watching him and the way he's grown this season. Then there's some moments where he just takes over, and I'm sitting here watching this kid, and I'm like, in 4 or 5 years, he will be an MVP candidate. I
Yeah.
just the way he plays, the aggression. He once he starts finding a shot, because he gets a bunch of mid-range free throw line jumpers, and he won't take them because he's not confident in it. People sag off him because the Heat's basically their half-court offense. Bam gets the ball at the free throw line, kind of like how Al Horford used to run those Hawks teams, and Bam runs it at the free throw line. And they just sag off him, and once he gets that mid-range down, he's going to be deadly because he can get to the rim and he can finish. I don't think there's one guy that could stop him at the rim if he gets in there. And he can play make. Obviously, he's a center averaging he's averaging 5 assists a game. He runs the offense. Watch out for Bam Adebayo. This was not a one season kind of thing. You'll hear his name for the next decade.
And
Bam is the real deal.
I think if Brandon Ingram didn't score as many points as he did this season, I think Bam would run away with it. I agree with that. So, I mean, props to both of them, though. I mean, Brandon Ingram's not a bad player at all.
Oh, Brandon, no, stellar player. It was just he got out of that LA
Yeah.
hype and he's flourishing, and I'm excited for him. I'm really excited for that Pelicans team. You know, they have so much young talent. Zion and Bi are going to be great. Lonzo's Lonzo. He can play make. He can play make and play defense.
Lonzo's proven himself. He's improving. He's showing him why he's a number 2 overall pick.
He's got clamps. That's all you need.
Defense,
Brandon Ingram and Zion can handle the scoring. Just
the high pass IQ.
Lonzo's only job on that team is to play defense and get that ball to Zion.
Throw lobs up to Zion. Make sure he gets the ball.
Yeah. I guess speaking of Zion, should we get into the rookie of the year, Jacob?
We'll talk about the rookies, the youngins.
I mean, I'm going to start off with saying this.
Pretty clear.
If Zion would have played from the beginning of the season, he would have ran away with this award. He would have been the unanimous rookie of the year, but he played 20 games. It's not even close. John Morant is the rookie of the year, and you cannot make an argument.
Yeah, I think everybody can agree with this statement, but I mean, like, Zion is probably the better player between the two, but you can't just take away the rookie of the year from John
Oh
Morant
no,
this
this
year.
Jaw has had the better season. It's not the better player, it's who's had the better season. And that's
Because
why it's
John Morant is taking this Grizzlies team, holding on to an eighth seed right now.
the Grizzlies were projected to have the third worst record in the league. What point guard comes into the NBA in his first season? Because when rookie point guards come in, they don't average a lot of assists because it's different. Colin
Yeah,
Sexton comes in, averages like 3 assists.
yeah.
Kyrie Irving comes in, averages like 4, maybe his rookie season. Jaw's averaging 7 assists his rookie season. That is crazy.
It's phenomenal. Like it just shows like like come next year, 2 years down the line, he's gonna be averaging maybe close to a double double in assist.
I th-
And
I think I I think he will. I definitely think he will because if you look at someone in their second year right now, Trey Young, who is in the top 5 for points and assists, I definitely think next year Ja can be a 20 and 10 player all day. He's gonna
oh
have
yeah,
Jaren Jackson improving with him. He's got Brandon Clark improving with him, Justice Winslow, Dylan Brooks.
Grizzlies
That team
team,
is so young, and as long
that
as
Grizzlies
Ja
team is
Morant can
very
stay
young.
healthy and stop,
Dylan Brooks, yeah.
trying to jump over everybody when you're the lightest player in the NBA. Because oh god, every time I've I've said this, and a lot of sports analytics and announcers say it. Every time Ja jumps for the layup and gets hit, everyone is just like, "Oh no!" Because he hits the
He,
ground. It's
he
like he is
just looks
the
so little.
he's the lightest player in the. He's 175 pounds.
Yeah.
He's but he's a stud. Ja, this is. I mean, I guess we don't really
Like
need to talk
he
about it
got
for this long. Jaw is the bona fide rookie of the year, and I don't think it's close. Just because
oh,
purely
not-
because Zion didn't play a
if
lot.
Yeah, if Zion plays this whole season, he wins it.
Hundred
But I mean,
percent.
you can't discredit John Morant for his incredible season. I mean, he's number two if Zion plays the whole year, no, like without a doubt. I mean, the other rookies, there's some who are having a great season as well. I mean, they're gonna be.
Do
This
it.
is a good class. I think.
Do we gotta? Do we got? Fine. Okay. I wasn't gonna do it, but you said other rookies. We can talk about Kendrick Nunn, Jacob.
I was good. That Kendrick Nunn's my number 3 right
Oh
now.
my gosh, this kid. Oh, so last year we cut Rodney McGruger to pick up. I liked Rodney McGruger. I was so confused why we cut him the last day of the year to pick up some 6'2" guy from the Golden State Warriors G League team. I was so confused, but I was like, whatever. And then him and Tyler Hero played in the summer league and dominated. I was like, all right, this could be cool. And then the last preseason game of the year, he drops 40 against the Rockets. I'm like, wait a minute, wait a minute.
I thought he was gonna run away with it at the beginning of the season.
He was, yeah. He didn't. What happened was be a little before the All Star break. He had an Achilles injury, and he missed a couple. He missed about 2 or 3 weeks, and then he just didn't look the same after it. So he struggled, and then after the All Star break, he came back, but he's averaging 15 points a game. He's averaging 3 assists. I've seen him score 40 points before.
Like I think if like come next year when he's fully healthy, he's gonna be
The
he's gonna be a nice, very nice like
The
person on that
only
team.
only problem with Kendrick Nunn for me is he's got a little bit of tunnel vision, which he's gotten so much better watching him throughout the season and watching him work. He's gotten so much better. There's so many times where you're watching the game and I could be like, there's Bam cutting. He could have had a dunk. Jimmy's got the back door, and Kendrick's just kind of like a score first guy because that's who he always has been.
Yeah, it shows in the 3 assists, but I mean he'll improve on that. Like
The
being the
only,
third
the
full
biggest
run
flaw
against the
about
team.
Kendrick Nunn is he is a 24-year-old rookie.
Yeah, yeah.
And if we're talking about rookies that I'm excited for, man, I cannot wait to see what kind of player Tyler Hero becomes.
Tyler
He's
Hero's
shown
gonna be-
so many flashes of greatness. I don't know if you
Yeah.
remember who were they playing? I don't remember who they were playing. Tyler Hero though comes down in the fourth quarter. They're down 2 points. There's like 15 seconds left. He runs down. There's like 10 seconds left, and he just pulls a deep three. And they give him the 1 point lead. No, that was the sentiment. Yeah, no, yeah. It was to give him the 1 point lead. He pulls like a Curry range three, and he still had like 10 seconds left. And it was like you could tell he was feeling it. Like Jimmy passed him the ball, and it was no hesitation. He's shown so many flashes.
For a rookie to have that type of confidence, that's gonna go a long way.
I'm very excited about
I
Miami
was
Heat.
very like before, like during the draft, I was very high on him. I loved what he did in college, and I knew he was going to be a very solid player in the NBA. And I'm glad he's getting his chance. He's showing people what he can do. I mean, he's
Oh
got
God,
a nice shot.
man,
He's got a lot of things going for him.
man. He just turned 22. Like he just turned not 22, but he just turned 20 like
Yeah,
a
I know.
couple weeks ago. Like this kid. Oh, I'm so excited, dude. I mean, you know I'm excited. I already have a Miami Vice Tyler Hero jersey. You already know how that
I know
be,
what you're about. Yeah,
man.
but yeah, like I said, this is a very nice
Class. I mean, if you look at it, I
rookie
mean, Kobe
class.
White
Very
started off slow. For about the first 90% of the season, he had the worst field goal percentage in the league. But he's had a nice hot week. Roy Hachimari, I think, is a stud. I think that guy is going to be like,
Oh yeah, he for the Wizards. Yeah,
yeah,
he's gonna be.
I think that guy is going to be like, I don't know, I don't want to like say I think this guy's gonna be amazing. I think he's gonna be an all star, but I think he's gonna be a really good NBA player, and he's representing the first ever Japanese like drafted player, the first ever relevant Japanese player so far. Everyone in Japan loves him. That's awesome. You know, he's gonna be a symbol of
Great.
basketball for overseas, just kind of like how Jeremy Lin and Yao Ming were with China. How Enes Kanter is with Turkey, even though the government hates him. But it's just, I think he's an exciting young player. I think he's a hoss. I think Brandon Clark was a steal for the Grizzlies. That guy is just like a Udonis Haslem type player, and I love it. Then of course you got Ja and Zion,
I love RJ Barrett too. I think he's gonna
RJ.
be.
Yeah, he's gonna be good. He just needs to find his shot in the NBA, which rookies struggle with.
It's
Unless
hard being in one of the biggest NBA markets in the New York Knicks,
Mhm.
which haven't been very good recently in the last couple years.
And then
So
you got Taco
it's gonna be
Fall and Bull Bull.
yeah. So I mean, yeah, a very exciting rookie class. It's gonna be interesting to see where
The future of
they
the
end
NBA
up.
is in good hands between their rookie class and the one before him with Trey Young and Luca, Marvin
And
Bagley. The
yeah,
future's in great hands.
there's a lot of young stars.
Future's in
That's
great
very good to
hands.
see. A lot of years to come with them.
So Jacob,
Nice.
are you ready to get into Defensive Player of the Year? Even known, I would bet we have the same pick. So I'm gonna let you go first, but I think we have the same pick.
Might have a little bias here, but I'm going with Anthony Davis
100%.
for
No, 100%. Yeah, we have the same pick.
yeah, for defensive player of the year. Like, I mean, you just watch the things he does on the court. It's insane how a guy that big has that much athleticism and like movement. Like he used to be a point guard in high school.
He his
But
his defensive abilities is what I think Bam is so borderline on because like I've seen Bam, for example, Bam in the Heat Hawks game. They went into overtime, and the whole overtime he guarded Trey Young, and that's just like that's the stuff Anthony Davis does. Like Anthony
Anthony
Davis
Davis is a guy who can
is
guard one
almost
through 5.
7 foot, and he could lock up Steph Curry.
Guard 1 through 5. He gets he averages 9 rebounds a game, and he averages the third most blocks in the game with two and a
He's
half. Like
just
he's just
he's so good. He's
to see on the floor. Like
I'm
just
I really hope these playoffs happen because him and LeBron, oh my, like I think
he's only 27 too.
I think we've talked about it before, Jacob. Do you know I'm a Miami Heat fan? Like LeBron and Dwayne Wade, oh my gosh, that was fun. But LeBron and Anthony Davis,
LeBron's
if
never had a
Dwayne Wade
dominant.
was in his prime when him and LeBron, like if it was oh six to 2010 Dwayne Wade during that 2010 to 14 run, no, not a chance that Anthony Davis will ever compete with that. But Dwayne Wade was breaking down. This is a young Anthony Davis. These two have the potential to be one of the greatest NBA duos as long as LeBron can stay LeBron.
He as long as he can keep his longevity and stay healthy, which I mean he's done his entire career. Like he's had just minor
I mean, the last year's
injuries
injury was
throughout it.
fake, so
Fake news. Yeah, that didn't happen.
yeah. I mean, other notable
But I mean,
defensive player of the years, I guess, so we can talk about it since we didn't touch on it that long. Rudy Gobert, and no, it's
Giannis
not for
Antetokounmpo.
shutting down the league. Giannis, I thought about it. Giannis, but do you know who I think? I think deserves a lot more than what he gets. Marcus Smart should be in the
Marcus
conversation.
Smart has always been on an
Marcus
All
Smart should
NBA
be.
defensive
Marcus
team.
Smart is the Tony Allen of our generation.
He's. I mean, when I think when I hear the name Marcus Smart, I think of defense. That's the first thing that comes to my mind.
Oh yeah,
He's always been that way. Yeah,
I mean
and I
if
mean,
yeah, he's
I haven't
class.
really seen. Yeah, I haven't really seen anything from him this year that much. But I mean, I could definitely see
He'll
that
definitely be on
happening.
the
Like,
All NBA first team for defense.
yeah, just I mean, he's like that Boston team's very young, very good too, and he's a nice touch to that team. Like, he's definitely a key piece.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's very nice for him. And then I also had just like a little kind of shout out. I had Ben Simmons on there too. He leads the league in assists or in steals.
Him
And I
and
mean,
Jimmy are
for him,
basically
he's
tied for it.
a
Yeah.
point guard in that big, and
Yeah.
he's got that wingspan. Like, it definitely helps out. But he's very good.
I have him on my all defensive first team predictions as a guard with Marcus Smart. So good
Yeah,
pick.
that makes sense. I mean, yeah, they're both phenomenal players, both great athletes, but yeah, and they're both defensive machines. Like, you can't you can't deny that at all.
So I mean, I guess it's time for the big finale, Jacob.
And for the meat and bones of this podcast, yeah. So
Should
you
you
want to
go
go with
first or should I go first?
I guess I mean it's probably gonna be the same thing, but I mean it's pretty locked on who's gonna be the MVP.
I
In
guess
my opinion.
I got it. I want to just give a big shout out and big like round of applause for LeBron for making this a race. Like, there's so many MVPs that LeBron has been gypped of over his career, but I'm sorry, this is not one of them.
No,
I think
agree.
until like a month or so ago, Giannis had this unanimous. The way I look at this is last year Giannis averaged 27 points a game. He averaged about 6 assists a game. He averaged 12 rebounds a game. He averaged about a steal a game, and his team had a great record. This year, Giannis is averaging almost 30 points a game, almost 14 rebounds a game, almost 6 assists a game, a steal, a block. He has improved. I mean, I have about 25 different stats in front of me, Jacob. I'm not going to bore everyone and read it, but he's improved in almost every one of these stats. So if you give him the MVP last year, his team was on pace for 70 wins. There's just not a chance he's not the MVP this
Cannot
year.
just not give him the MVP this year. He
Is
deserves
having
it.
one of the historically best
having
statistical
a record
season
break.
in NBA history.
For most of the first half of the season, he didn't even play like the
Oh,
fourth quarter.
oh
of the
yeah.
time.
Do you want me to let you know his minutes played, Jacob? He's averaging 30 minutes a game in doing this.
Yeah, that's insane. Averaging 30 points on 30 minutes a
That's
game.
a bucket a minute. That's a bucket.
Unheard of.
Not a bucket, a point a minute.
He's just so dominant and so
Like
just
to put
a
out
freak.
to put how crazy this put how crazy this is in perspective. Back in 2017 and 16 and 15, well 15 is his most improved year, or 2016 was. And back in those he was averaging almost 30, he was averaging about 36 minutes a game, and now he's averaging 30 minutes a game, and he's blowing those stats out of the water.
Yeah, it's. I mean, you don't ever see a 7-footer do the things he does.
And the only reason he's averaging 30 minutes a game is because the point differential for the Bucks and the teams they play,
Doesn't need
bad.
to play.
They've blown out. I bet they have the best point differential in NBA history. I mean, I don't quote me on that, but they are just blowing out teams this year.
Like, if he plays normal minutes, say he plays 36, 38 minutes a
Oh my
game,
God, Jacob, he would be averaging like 36 points a
they
game.
would not. I don't think they. It'd be not even
Jacob,
close.
he would average a triple double with 36 points, 10 rebounds, and like 17 boards.
It would be amazing to see. Like, props to him. I mean, he's only 25 years old doing these kinds of things. I can't believe it. Like, I mean, 100% he wins the MVP. LeBron definitely made it interesting these last few this month maybe,
Mhm.
and the head-to-head battle they had in that Bucks Lakers game.
Awesome.
Oh, it was a great game to watch. I mean,
I mean,
just phenomenal.
for a little perspective on Basketball Reference, Giannis has a 50% chance of winning it. LeBron has a 17. James Harden has a 10. Anthony Davis has a 9, and Luka has a 4. That's the top 5.
James Harden at number 3 in my list.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's Giannis, James. It was for a while. For a while, for the first couple months of the season, it was to me Luka was running away with it, bro. I was like, what the heck? Can we
Luka
talk about
has
crazy? This is Luka's second year, bro.
Luka is averaging 29 points, 9 assists, and 9 rebounds in his second year.
Yeah, and I have a little bit of bias towards Luca because you know this because you were in my friend group and you were at when Luca was drafted. I was telling everyone because big Heat fan. I watched the whole FIBA World Cup where Luca and Goran Dragic just killed everyone, and I was like, this kid's gonna be sweet. I was telling everyone, and I remember when the Kings pick came up, I was like, if they draft Marvin Bagley here instead of Luca, they're idiots. And everyone's like, chill, Marvin Bagley, chill, great. And then when they made that trade, the Mavs, I was like, Mark Cuban's a genius. So I've always had a
Oh
little
yeah,
bias towards Luca, and now I just like I had me and Jacob's buddy Nate just randomly call me one day, and he was like, "Dude, you know what? I just wanted to say, you were right about Luca, man. He's crazy."
it's just I mean, even his rookie year, you can just
I
see
mean,
that
yeah,
kid was
rookie of the year, and now rookie of the year his first year, MVP candidate his second year. Like, what?
this kid's just he's so good and he's so young, and I just see him being this way for a long time. Like,
And he's paired up with another
can't
good,
stop him.
great player in Kristaps. If he can stay healthy,
Kristaps is
Kristaps is dominant. He is
got
so
a
good at
great
basketball.
big man on his team. Oh yeah, 100%. That
I mean, I think the Mavs are going to be just a scary team in the
they can
future
get
if
the
they can pull
more
one more fish, like a Bradley Beal in
if they can get
2021
yeah
free agency, or a Victor Oladipo, or
they
anyone.
they're like one piece away from stepping up and being like a top 3, 4 team in the league.
100%.
I mean, they're a 7 seed right now, but I mean,
In the
basically,
West. 17 in the West
7
is good.
seed, almost the same thing as a 4 seed. They're one game behind. Like
Exactly. Luca is absurd, and we have to give him his props. And I guess we do have to give a big props to James Harden for averaging 35 points a game. That, I mean, he did fall off. I mean, he was on pace to average 40, and he would have ran away with MVP if he did that. But he fell off.
yeah,
He fell
yeah,
off
he's
because
a one
it
shooter.
became Russell Westbrook's team. They
Oh
made
yeah,
that small ball offense so Russell Westbrook could run around, and Russell is the clear best player on that team right now to me.
so Westbrook's been doing good these last few weeks too. I mean,
Mhm.
towards the end of this, like, well, when it got postponed,
Yeah,
like
of course.
you could tell he was definitely the best player on that team. I'd say
100%.
James Harden's probably the better scorer on that team, but overall, Russell Westbrook's the better
100%.
player. Yeah, without a doubt for me.
Yeah, without a doubt, I agree 100%.
I mean, it's just interesting to see if this season plays out because as we're recording this today, the NBA announced that it is quote angling to cancel the 1920 season after China's CBA shut down. So I mean, it's not looking too good. It's not
It's
looking
not. This coronavirus does not look like it's
like
stopping anytime soon.
looking like we're gonna get the end of the season, which is so unfortunate because I had no idea who's even gonna win this year. Like this was one of the years
This
where
was. I mean, I've
it
been
could be
telling
anyone's
everyone
game.
the second that Golden State Warriors was split up. I mean, there is just so many teams. It's a team full of duos. It was going to be such a fun postseason. There's going to be just like, we honestly could see the Nuggets and the Celtics in the finals, and I wouldn't be surprised this year.
Just the way things were going, literally anyone could have been in. It would have been so fun to see, but it doesn't look like we're gonna get this. Which is so unfortunate.
Very unfortunate. Yeah.
I think LeBron would have won his 4th ring, but
Me too, man. Me too.
it makes me so upset.
It does.
He
It
could-
hurts. It
It
hurts.
hurts my soul.
It hurts my soul. By the way, I wanna shout something out here real quick. All I'm saying is big ups. I posted a poll on our Twitter page, right? I posted. So Twitter, who do you think the GOAT is? LeBron or MJ? LeBron took it home with an 81%.
Oh wow, that's actually surprising to see.
Got 20 votes too. We got 81% of the 20 votes. I mean, sure, everyone that is on Twitter is not a boomer, so they're not going to vote for Jordan. But I mean, I guess that's a talk for another pod.
It seems like a lot of the people think NBA is their favorite professional sport as well.
Yeah, that's the real reason I did that tweet. That poll, I would just so we can gauge like what we're gonna pod the most about during the sportsless time.
Yeah, I mean, personally, my favorite sport recently has definitely been the NBA.
Mm-hmm. No, my favorite sport has always been the NBA. Basketball. You know me though. I'm the biggest basketball guru on the planet.
Too, but just NBA just been it's taken my whole attention. Like something about it. Just
It's wonderful.
I'm very happy with it, and just to see this season go to waste after how good it's been already.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna be crazy, man.
It'd be a shame.
It would be. But on another note, if you guys have anything you guys want us to pod about, no matter what it is, sports related, any ideas for fun, any pods you want to hear, please let us know. You can comment it down below, and we'll add it to the list. We got a big list full of ideas. We will be here at Goat Shed to get you through this sportsless time. I can promise you that. We got so many fun ideas in the future that are going to be just so like cool, new, and fun, and it's just really exciting, to be honest.
I'm very excited to do this for you guys. So, and Nick, you also want to share how our other platforms that we're on now?
Oh yeah, shout out! We are now Goat Shed is now officially on Spotify, and we are waiting to get put on to Apple Music. Hopefully, big shout out to BuzzFeed's podcast hosting website that I used it through. It got me able to connect us to Spotify and then hopefully Apple Music as well. So, if you don't want to open it up on YouTube because you don't like the hassle of not being able to close your phone, like you want to listen to the podcast while driving, because that is something I do all the time. Jacob he knows I rolled up to Jacob's house today to drop him off a microphone, and I had a sports podcast on Apple Music. So it's just a lot nicer. You can just
A
lot easier. So I will keep it posted if we do get an Apple podcast, but follow the Goat Shed Sports Podcast on Spotify for all your podcast needs. We will get you through this sportsless time. And with that being said, thank you guys, and we'll catch you guys next week. Bye.
Thank you. We'll see you on Sunday. Bye bye.